Good day to all of you. Today we shall discuss on the topic threads. So it belongs to the subject operating systems with the subject code BCS303. Our sincere acknowledgement and thanks to author Abraham Silvers, Peter Bear Galvin and Greg Gagne, textbook with title Operating System Principles 8th edition, Wiley India Publications, year 2015. The content of whole discussion is taken from this book. So it belongs to fourth chapter in this textbook. So let us know what is a thread. Program under execution is a process. Thread is a basic unit of execution or basic unit of CPU utilization. So what is the meaning of this? Computer can process the information. For that we need to give the instructions to the computer. Set of instructions is a program that will be stored in memory. So when it is taken for execution by the processor, then it is called as a process. Thread is a basic unit of execution or basic unit of CPU utilization. Okay. Every program may have a number of processes associated with it. Each process can have a number of threads executing in it. The threads belonging to the same process share resources. A thread has thread ID, program counter, register set, and a stack. It also shares code section, data section, and other operating resources such as open files and signals if any other threads are there belonging to the same process. So what is the meaning of all here? Program when taken for execution by the processor, it becomes a process. So there can be many basic units of execution in a process. Those basic units of execution in a process are called as threads. Every program may have number of threads executing in it. Now assume that this is one program. When it is given for execution by the processor, it becomes a process. So in that process, what instructions were there of the program, they will be executed one by one. So PC at start program counter of the processor would point at first instruction. Hence it would be executed. While execution of that, PC will be loaded with second instruction. So next that instruction will be executed. During execution of second instruction, program counter will be loaded with the address of third instruction. This is how the instructions will be pointed by program counter and they will go on be executed by the processor one by one. So this is what we call it as one flow of control. This flow of control is called as thread. Okay. So in this process, how many threads are there? Only one. What does it mean? Only one flow of control. Only one thread is there. Such a process is called as heavyweight process. Okay. Suppose if another set of instructions are there, they get executed one by one. One more PC will be there in the processor. It will keep track of these instructions. First, it will point at first instruction of this code block, this instruction set. So when it is being executed, it will point to the address of second instruction. When second instruction is being executed, it will point to third instruction address and so on. Okay, this way one by one the instructions of this set will be executed. So this is second flow of control. This is called as thread 2. Okay. So how many flow of controls are here? 2. Then how many threads are there? We can say 2. So this set of instructions is doing one task. This set is doing another task. So both the tasks are done at the same time. When process starts running, both will be executed at the same time because this PC is available for this set and this program counter is available for this set of instructions. So because two flow of controls, two threads are provided, two set of instructions will be executed at the same time because of two threads when that single process starts running, in which there are two threads. So this is what is multiple threaded process. Heavyweight process is the process in which single flow of control is there, single thread is there, because of which single task will be executed or done. In multi-threaded process, multiple flow of controls will be there or multiple threads will be there, because of which multiple blocks of instructions will be executed. Hence, multiple tasks will be performed. This is exactly what is meant by program, process, heavyweight process, single flow of control, single thread, heavyweight process, multiple flow of controls, multiple threads, and hence multiple threaded process. Okay. So each thread will have their own registers. Okay. Own registers and stack. They will be sharing the same code, data, and file section of the process to which they belong. So we have to remember these words. So what is the point here? The threads have their own registers and stack, but they share the same code, data, and file sections of the process to which they belong. Single-threaded process can perform single task. Multi-threaded process can perform multiple tasks at the same time. Okay. So this is very important. That is why threads are very important and they are very useful. So every thread will be having its ID, program counter, register state and stack. A heavyweight process has single thread performing a single task. Means when a program is taken for processing by the processor, then that program is called as a process. Okay. In that, if single flow of control is there, then we say that single thread is there. It can do single task because it is like single program, single set of instructions being executed. This is not an efficient way of performing, or it is not an efficient system. Suppose in that process several threads are there, means several blocks of instructions are there which are getting executed at the same time. So those blocks, those units of execution, they are called as threads. So each unit will be assigned one task. So the only one program or only one process is there under execution, but inside, because of multiple threads or multiple units of execution, several tasks will be done at the same time. That is why threads are very useful. It makes the system efficient. Okay. Inside a process, if single flow of execution is there, then we say that single thread is there. By single thread, only one task can be done. Suppose in the same only one process, if several units of execution are there, that is what is several units of execution means. Multiple threads are there, multiple flow of controls are there. They are executing a different set of instructions at the same time. Okay, then multiple tasks are done at the same time. Hence, instead of doing one task at one time, doing multiple tasks at the same time is more efficient. That is how threads make the system more efficient. So next we'll have to consider this figure. So single threaded and multiple threaded processes. So this shows single threaded process block. This shows multiple threaded process block. So in any process block, it has its own code section, data section and file section. Here also code, data and file section are there. But in this process only one thread is there, hence this is called a single threaded process. But in this three threads are there. This is called as multi-threaded process. For every thread means flow of control. One control can execute one set of instructions. Here only one. Here at the same time three set of instructions are being executed. That is what the meaning. So for this one thread, it has its own registers and stacks. So for three threads, three sets of registers and stack will be there. Okay. So the figure shows a single threaded process. The process had code, data and file section. It has single thread and such a process is called as heavyweight process. It can perform only one task since it has only one flow of control or thread. Thread has registers and stack section which are shown here. Process block has code, data and file section and thread with its registers and stack. So one process block means it will be having code, data and file section and thread, along with thread its registers and stacks. That is what is one process block. Okay. So when one thread is there, one task will be done by that process. Here this figure shows multi-threaded process. So this process block has code section, data section, file section. It has three threads, three flow of controls. Each will be executing one set of instructions. Hence, the three set of instructions will be executed at the same time. Each thread will have its own register and stack section. Okay. So this way multi-threaded process can do multiple functions at the same time. Hence a multi-threaded process is very efficient, more efficient than single-threaded process. So next we shall see advantages of multi-threaded programming. The first advantage is responsiveness. If any interactive application, if we make it multi-threaded, then it can allow that program to continue running even if part of it is blocked and is performing a if it is performing a lengthy operation. This increases responsiveness to the user. So one example is when we open a web page in browser, that web page is displayed. At the same time, while displaying, it can take user responses. Okay. So one thread is doing the job of displaying the web page. Another thread, so flow of control, that is making the web page to take the user responses. So displaying web page and at the same time taking user responses. So that is what is responsiveness. Then second one is resource sharing. Threads share the resources of the process to which they belong. So where will be the thread, that unit of execution, it will be there in the process. So that process has its own code section, data section and file section. They are the resources of that process to which the thread belongs. So those resources of the process to which the thread belongs, it will share that. If there are multiple threads, they will share the same code, data and file section of the process to which they belong. No other dedicated resources are needed. Okay. Third advantage is economical. It is economical to create and context switching of threads than separate process for separate tasks since threads share resources of the process to which they belong. Suppose if three tasks are to be done, so if three programs, hence three processes are created. So then for each code data file section is needed. So resource needed is more. Okay. And switching between different processes also is costly. It consumes memory and time. But if in one process, if multiple threads are created, then multiple tasks can be done by sharing the resources of the same process, only one process. Now instead of three processes for three tasks, only one process is created. In that one process, three threads are made to run. Each thread will be doing one task, hence three tasks by the same process. Now same code, data and file section will be shared by all the three threads. Suppose if three separate processes, then three code, data and file sections would be created separately, which is not economical. But this with single process, in that the three threads performing three tasks is more economical because all the three threads will be utilizing only one set of code, data and files section. Okay. So that is why multi-threaded programming is economical. Then multi-threading on multiprocessor can increase concurrency. This make completion of process quicker and efficient. This in case of multiprocessor architecture where each processor can run only one thread. But because many processors are there, multiple thread can be created and made each run on one processor. Because of multi-threading, multiprocessor architecture is made useful. The meaning in a system there are multiple processors, but in each processor only one thread can run. Then because of multi-threaded programming, multiple threads can be created by making each one thread on single processor. Hence with multiple processors, multiple threads can be run if multi-threaded programming is possible. Hence, multiprocessor architecture can be used for multi-threaded programming in which multiple tasks can be done. Okay. So that completes the discussion of what is thread and what all it has and what it shares. Then what is heavyweight process. Then how multi-threaded programming is useful. Then what is single threaded process and multi-threaded process, what is the difference and which is advantageous. Then what are the advantages of multi-threaded programming. That is what we discussed. I hope you understood. Thank you.